Today I'm going to build a swing set. It's going to be a very simple design. You got two upright posts that you bury in the ground about 2.5 feet, maybe 3. You have a couple of decorative pieces that go across the horizontal up piece on the top. This I think I'm going to turn into a seat for one of the swings. So now it's time to start drawing some lines. I think I'm going to make this, I think I'll put the notch into this, and I'll put the tenon into the uprights. Let's start sawing. Here we have the dimensions for the notch. It's 3 inches long and 1 inch and 7/16 wide. And I'm going to cut clear through. Yeah, it's nice and soft, I'll give it that. Got that chunk out. Okay, it's time to cut the tenon. I'm cutting this 1.5 inches wide, which should be just a little bit wider than the notch I cut earlier. That way I can kind of sneak up on it and make it a decently tight fit. And this is just the top of the post, so we're not going to put anything at the bottom. So let's go ahead and cut this out same way I did before. Time to switch up saws. We are going to use the cross-cutting saw for this. And there we go.
I love that saw.
Yes, anyway, I'm going to cut 1/2 inch off of this to give the other beam some support clear across the front there. That is an awfully aggressive cut. Okay, this was a bit too thick as I expected, so we're going to score down here.
Go down there.
And we're going to plane it a little bit to get it thinner. Let's see if it fits now. You know what? I'm probably almost off the screen, aren't I? Nope, it's pretty
These
good.
don't even stand.
You put sandpaper around them. Aha!
What?
It's starting to go together. I think with a little bit of pounding effort, they might go all the way together. Let's see now. Other than being off angle a lot.
You're making a door?
Do you want a door for your birthday?
Yeah.
Well, we're not making a door. These 2x8s are just going to have a decorative quarter circle on them, so if I can hold this steady enough, get this nail right in the corner. I need to turn one of these into one of these. So I guess the first step is I need to straighten this out. Okay, this is 5/16, which is pretty much at the threshold of what I'm willing to try and straighten by hand. Now I need to put some slight bends on the end here and on the end here. So, to protect the threads, let's put a piece of cardboard around it. And then we need to clamp it at my mark. There we go. And we bend it. Okay, so we have our slight angles. Now we need to bend it in the center. Boy, it's a lot tougher when you got the threads going into your fingers. Found a scrap piece of 8-inch yellow pine. I'm going to cut it to 20 inches. And then I'm going to attach my two swing supports about 1.5 inches from the ends. Time for the holes. Well, let's see if a hand plane will get these little high points out. It's getting really close. Well, I had my little boy test out the seat. He didn't care for this hump so much, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Okay, the seat is flattened. Now I think I'm going to put a round over on all the edges, top and bottom. I almost forgot, I need some 45-degree pieces to go in the corners of my posts. Well, it would be up like that. Okay, I think I'm just going to use pocket holes to hold these 45 pieces on. I'll use 2.5-inch Craig screws. So, that's on there good. Let's go ahead and drill this out. Okay, one last thing I need to do to the wood. I have these hangers that are bought here, and this is the bottom of the board, by the way, but I need to bore some holes 17 inches apart, about 20 inches from the end, so that I can sink these through. Anyway, let's get it in there. I'll have to do a little bit of cleanup here, but now we are ready to thread on the nut and washer. Okay, there's a washer, nylon nut, and now we need this. Okay. Time to attach some seat hardware. So these are the U-clamps that I had bent up. And they don't have to be tight. I just need to make sure that these don't fall off the bottom. So I am also using nylon fitted nuts for these as well. Oh yes. Now it's time for the labor-intensive part of this. I'm going to go as deep as I can with a regular shovel, and then I'll switch to my post hole digger. Now we switch up to the old trusty post hole digger. So now it's time to add a little bit of pea gravel into the bottom of the hole. I think I'm going to fill it up with about 1.5 or 2 inches. That'll give the post something a little more firm to rest on. Okay, now it's time to set the post. So, let's gently put it down in there without hitting the side walls and tamp down that stone a bit. Can't see that side, the sun is in my face. It would appear that this side is up a little too high, perhaps. So I may have to add some stone to the other side. Alright, that looks just about perfect. Well, let's begin the tamping process. First thing I want to do is take some of this very red clay mud and drop it in the bottom. Go ahead and start tamping it down into the bottom. Check it for level every time we tamp. It looks like it needs to come this way a little. Okay, I put a clamp on here to pull things tight. Gravity is keeping this down, so now it's time to drive in a couple of screws. Let's see here. Okay, now it's time for the important decorative top piece. Let's see, first we want to get this screw started. Let's see, I think I'll try. No, I don't want to put it in the middle of the post. I got too many screws there. So let's put it here. Now I want to make it flush with the bottom. Okay, here we have it. I've got the top decorative pieces on and everything is in place. The only thing we're missing right now is the swing sets. I almost forgot. I gotta put these corner pieces in. I better do that before it gets dark. Okay, well, it is the next morning. It's very bright and sunny, and it is done. And I must say I'm rather pleased with the results. The only thing I have any kind of misgivings about is the soil is just a little bit loose, so the whole thing tends to wiggle a bit. If that becomes an issue, I'll probably just put some concrete around them, but for right now, I think things are fine. So now we gotta wait and see what the boy thinks.